Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm a Monk, and today we are in Crusader Kings 3 once again for a console update. That's right, today is the 16th of May and we have just had update number 4 drop on consoles, and my god, it is a massive update full of lots and lots of little fixes. Now, apparently, I missed an update somewhere because I thought the last update video I done was the first update we received. Apparently, that was number 2. Number 3, we had about a week ago. That kind of addressed, or maybe 2 weeks ago now, it addressed a small visual glitch, as they said. But it referred to the fact that you could see things underneath certain dresses that you shouldn't have seen. So they fixed that. That was the last update. That was very small. It's the only thing they actually fixed. Today, however, whoosh, we had a massive list of changes. Some of them small, some of them big. I'm going to talk about some of the big ones a little bit later in the video. The small ones, I'm not going to go over them, guys. I'm telling you, there were so many small updates and fixes here, and I'm sure you don't want a 20-30 minute update video. This is going to be a little bit smaller than my other videos, but what I will do is I will put a link for that down in the description. So if you guys want to mosey on through all of the updates, all of the changes and the fixes, the link for that will be down in the description. I know that some of you guys don't have Discord or you don't have Twitter, so you may not have access to this information. That's why I'm going to put a link down for it for you guys. Also, while you're down in the description, there is a link there for my own Discord. So if you want to join that and kind of talk and chat about your game and your experience, share your stories, the link's there. Feel free. Always want to see more Crusader Kings players within the Discord. But the first big change I'm so excited to hear is that tribal authority can now be changed. Now, this was one of the biggest problems I think that players had when it came to this game. I think that unfortunately we all had a bug where we couldn't change the tribal authority no matter what we did. Eventually the player base figured out a workaround. It was an active workaround that everyone knew about, and we could change the tribal authority, although it could be a little bit difficult to change it. Now, the reason I think this was one of the biggest things that needed changing is that I think that a lot of people, when this game first came out on consoles, a lot of people grabbed it up and wanted to play as the Vikings, wanted to play as tribal. Now, 90% of all the Vikings in the game is tribal authority, meaning that most people's game would get bugged out because they'd get 100, 150, 200 years into the game and very quickly find out, or after a hell of a long time, found out that he couldn't change that tribal authority. It bugged their game out and ultimately drove them away from the game. Personally, I had a lot of people comment on these videos. I've seen it up on the Facebook community group as well. A lot of people talking about tribal authority. So glad to see that change and that fix. Hopefully it works. Haven't had a chance to try it just yet. But I'm looking forward to it. I love playing as tribal within the game. It has so many decent options, so many really fun playthroughs happen to be tribal authority when you first start playing. So I'm excited for this, and I'm excited for that change and that fix. The next big update change that they kind of popped in is the fact that you can now change your player title. Now, this was bugged and you couldn't change your primary title. It was kind of a pain that you couldn't do it. Some people wanted to change it for one reason or another, and there were certain things that we as players had to do to kind of change that primary title, like deleting other titles. So I'm really glad to see that's been changed. I think just for role-playing purposes, it's a nice little change that's been added, and one of my favorites has actually been added here too. The last huge change that they've actually brought in, and this was possibly one of the biggest problems with the game entirely, and that was the fact that auto saves corrupted. Now, I don't need to tell you why that was such a huge problem, but loads of people have had issues when it comes to when it come to save files being corrupted, deleted, whatever, unable to save their game, unable to load their game because of an autosave. And it basically meant that Iron Man mode was unplayable. Me personally, I knew this was an issue. I have not played Iron Man mode since this game launched on console because I wanted to avoid this like the absolute plague. Now it's been fixed, I will finally be able to play Iron Man mode. So I'm going to start a playthrough up and just see if it has actually been fixed or not. I think this is a huge plus because a lot of people like myself are achievement hunters. You want to be unlocking and completing all those achievements, maybe even 100% in the game. And unfortunately, a lot of those achievements were locked behind Iron Man mode. You had to have Iron Man in play in order for you to do it. And of course, with the autosave corrupting, it was just something that we couldn't do. So I'm really glad to see that that has been fixed, and that's something that we can now bank on. And it just means that's an extra mode for me personally that I'm going to be able to dive into and start playing again, maybe even do a few extra videos on. So I'm really excited to see that that's actually been fixed as well. On top of that, I also know that a load of these small changes, these small fixes, have been put up for PlayStation specifically. I think PlayStation had a lot more bugs with it than Xbox actually did, unfortunately. So a lot of them have been addressed and fixed as well. So like I said, guys, there is a huge array of changes and fixes within this update. This is update number 4. Like I said, I will put the link for that down in the description. But let me know what your favorite or the one thing that you needed fixing, if it's been fixed. Whenever Paradox and Crusader Kings did actually leak this, they did say that there are more updates on the way. So if your issue happens to not be fixed, if you've read through everything and your issue is still there, be reassured, because it looks like this team are working on it. I understand that the last two changes and updates weren't huge, but this one is a huge list, guys, which is why I'm not going to go reading it all out on this one. So hopefully your problem will get fixed in the next one if it's not fixed here. And again, if you are interested in Crusader Kings content, want to see more videos just like this, update videos, tips videos, playthroughs, whatever it is, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because I plan on putting more Crusader Kings content on this channel. And your like, subscription, and comment goes a long way to beating that YouTube algorithm, just to ensure that we actually reach the community that it's intended for. But as ever, guys, I have been a monk, we've been a Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. And until then, happy gaming.